Hi, Garland Nixon here. Going to chat for you briefly on a Thursday morning. Nina Jankowicz, the queen of disinformation, blocks the world. Let's talk. Well, good morning. Just on for a few minutes this morning to chat a bit. And it's Nina Jankowicz. Doesn't look like I have a good doesn't look like I have a very good signal today for some reason. I don't know. Everybody, let me know if my sound is good, and let me know if the video's good, because it's showing a weak signal. Who knows? We had a lot of storms around here recently. Lena, here's what I'm bringing on. Check this out. Let me start by sharing this with you. So I'm on Twitter yesterday, and I see Jimmy Dore, and I see a couple other people, Craig Pasta from the Convo Couch, saying, hey, guess what? I've been blocked by Nina Jankowicz, the Miss Queen of disinformation. And I'm like, well, let me check too, for God's sake. I mean, hey, I'm somebody. Not really, but I'm just a schmuck with a YouTube show. I'm sure she doesn't know who I am. I check and I'm blocked, right? So I put out this grammatically incorrect tweet, and let's look at it here. And I said, it's supposed to say, everybody go to Nina Jankowicz's Twitter account to see if you're blocked. But I put everybody got to. So, everybody got to go. We got to go. We got to go. So you will forgive me for my grammatical error. But when you go down here, guess what everybody started looking? Look, boom. What a relief. I'm blocked. All this. Ha ha. I blocked her. But look at this. This person's blocked. All these people, you're blocked. Just people saying me too everywhere. There you go. Boom. I'm devastated. Oh, yep, blocked, and blocked her back everywhere. And what you have is people saying, that's weird. She blocked me. And this person says, I have 278 followers. I'm not even someone remotely important online. I don't even know her. This is what you see over and over. All of these people saying, what the hell? I'm just an average Twitter person on here. I got few followers. I'm just trying to see what's happening in life, and I got blocked. Okay, let me touch base. Let me talk about that for a second. What we see is a lot of just people blocked. And when you look, it appears thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions blocked. I don't know. A lot of people are blocked from Nina Jankowicz. Well, what does that mean? That means that Nina Jankowicz did not sit down at her account and go, let's see, Joe Ho Schmittenfield, blocked. Let's see, Dave Nobody, blocked. Garland Nixon, who the hell knows who he is, blocked. No, she didn't, because the numbers are far, far too high. And she'd have to know who she'd have to carefully take her time and look at each account to see whether or not, or just block everybody. Why is it blocked? Which means this, it was an algorithm, which means she didn't block people. Twitter blocked for her. Now, why does that make sense? Here's why it makes sense. When I was studying a little bit about Nina Jankowicz and reading about the disinformation board that she was supposed to chair, someone apparently on the inside leaked some documents about this disinformation board, and there were some agendas from some meetings. And one of these agendas, she was going to meet with some people from Twitter, with representatives of Twitter, with very high up representatives of Twitter. And it said she's familiar with them. She's worked with them before. Let's not forget, this is the same Nina Jankowicz that worked with Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine at his headquarters on his campaign. So she's already part of the inside. She's already part of the regime change intelligence operation, U.S. State Department machine. So, which means she's already tight with the Twitter people. So let's put these things together. Number one, lots of people so many people were blocked from Nina Jankowicz that she couldn't have possibly done it. It's physically impossible for her to block that number of people. Number two, the people who are blocked from her tend to be people that push against the mainstream narrative, particularly in regards to Ukraine, and often in regards to questioning the international and national COVID policies and government policies regarding, health issues, right? So it's obvious to me that this is part of the Twitter operation. That it was, oh no, all these people are going after Nina Jankowicz. Twitter is going to go in. She probably was getting, catching holy hell. So she probably said, just called her buddies at Twitter, hey, can you go through there and, throw in an algorithm? And what she probably did, people who use certain terms, I guarantee you this, they got a list. And that list has people like Garland Nixon and Jimmy Dore and Craig Pasta, Convo Couch and Nico House and all those kinds of names, anybody associated with anybody who's associated with those people. That's why what they did was, it's obvious, they blocked people like me and Jimmy Dore and other people. I'm not putting myself in the category of Jimmy Dore. I don't have those kind of numbers, but I am in that we tend to push against the mainstream narrative, and blocked almost all of our followers, most of our followers. There's a few people here and there that aren't. So it's just another instance to demonstrate that Twitter is nothing but a tool for the regime change, crew. It's nothing but a tool for the U.S. empire's regime change, monstrous national security state. And what else do we get? We hear that relative to that Elon Musk has decided that he's not going to buy Twitter. And now I'm hearing, I don't know for sure, that one of the big reasons is because of the number of inauthentic accounts. Now, Twitter originally said there was not very many. And he said, yeah, well, wait a minute, I got to see. I've heard numbers of 40 million. That still seems low to me. There's a tremendous number of accounts, but 40 million is still a lot. And that is why, because I once read an article about Israel, that Israel has like all of these college students that they hire, and they're like put them in big offices, and they just go online. Anybody who's saying something critical of Israel or Zionism, their job is to be online and just go against them. That's going on. That if you remember, Hillary Clinton during the 2016 campaign hired what's his name, Brock. She hired that guy to, quote, push back against people who were spreading disinformation, whatever you want to call it back then. So what we know is there's another woman who was a Clinton supporter, a known Clinton ally named Sally Albright, who apparently commanded a huge number, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of bots that she used to manipulate the narrative and to stoke disinformation. If you remember, there was a company called New Knowledge. This was the company that did two things of consequence to New Knowledge. Three, I'll go to three. One thing was during the Doug Jones Alabama Senate race, they were known to have created a bunch of Russian accounts, which they probably had fake Russian accounts. They were to turn those against Doug Jones and then say, look at that, the Russians hates Doug Jones. I mean, they created this bullcrap Russiagate, a local Alabama version of Russiagate. Like the Russians were sitting around saying, man, there's a Senate race in Alabama. We're all over that, And New Knowledge was thrown off Facebook. If you remember, they were deplatformed somewhat when it came out. It came out very obvious that they were creating false Russiagate stuff in Alabama, right? New Knowledge, the people from New Knowledge were also involved in this app called, I think, Shadow, which was used in 2020 in Iowa in the by the Democratic Party, the DNC. And it was used for tabulating votes and other things regarding the Iowa caucuses, and it was alleged to have been involved in some chicanery, shall we say. Lastly, New Knowledge was also involved. They were hired by the Senate to write a Senate intelligence report. Keep in mind, this is after they were exposed as falsifying so-called Russian accounts and then falsifying information that these Russian accounts were turned against Doug Jones, right? And that it was Russiagate stuff. After that, they were hired by the Senate, bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats, hired by the Senate. And the Senate pushed their report that, of course, Russia did it. After they were caught lying about that. And now one could make the argument it wasn't after they were caught lying about Russiagate. It was because they were caught lying about Russiagate. And then they put things in their Senate report that have been proven false. So again, what do we look at? The disinformation game, accusing people of doing what you are doing, turning reality inside out. And now Nina Jankowicz has said, oh crap, we can't have this. We've got all these people who are pointing the finger at me and pointing out that I am a liar and a hypocrite, pointing out that I am a disinformation artist, posing as a person who stops disinformation. And now Twitter has gone to blocking any and everybody who would even oppose the narrative that she's pushing. I would suspect this, that ain't going to be the last of it. That maybe now, instead of like throwing 1 million people off, they will simply selectively block millions from any accounts that they don't want us to see. That's the way it works. Let me add this about Elon Musk. I think, no fan of Musk, he's a billionaire. I don't like, you know what when I really got disgusted with Elon Musk, and that is when the U.S. effected a coup in Bolivia, an illegal coup against the Bolivian government. And Elon Musk tweeted, we'll coup who we want. We will coup. Now, if a bank is robbed and I say we will rob whatever bank we want, it certainly implies very strongly that I was either involved in the that I was either involved in the bank robbery, or I consider myself part of the team, part of the group, part of the class that is involved in that bankruptcy, and I'm involved in the conspiracy, and or I expect to benefit greatly. And considering that Bolivia had a lot of lithium and they need lithium for his batteries for Teslas and all that other stuff, I suspect that both were probably true. So at that point, you got to realize this guy's once you're involved in that kind of stuff, it's like the mafia. Once you're involved in one hit or any kind of criminality with the mafia or dealing with the mafia, they own you from then on, because at any given time they can reveal the truth. They got dirt on you. So, you know, Elon Musk has no doubt. I mean, he has Pentagon contracts. He has so much dirt. Regardless, if he wanted to do the right thing, which I'm not convinced that he does, he couldn't do the right thing. I would argue that he probably wants Twitter to be more of a free speech platform because his libertarian leanings, probably does, but he could only go but for so far because they've got so much dirt on it. And apparently, this deal was dying because of a lot of fake accounts. And here's the bottom line: why are there so many fake accounts? Because Twitter is a tool. It's an operative tool of the national security state. It's an operative tool of the U.S. State Department. It's part of the regime change tool, just like the U.S. media, all part of it. So guess what? Twitter is going to be loaded with bots, and they're going to use the bots and the false accounts, et cetera, to attack people. I get attacked by false accounts all the time. I get, or if I make a statement about Ukraine, I'll look and there's somebody making some statement, some absurd trolley statement to push back. And when you look at the account, they got like 4 followers, and it was created in April or May or June or February, end of February. It was created after the war started. And it was, when you look at it, they've got very few followers. They're hiding their tweets, or there are lots of retweets. But the bottom line is this: it's just a troll. There is no question that the Ukrainian government, and by the Ukrainian government, I mean the U.S. government, because the U.S. government now has adopted Ukraine as a colony and paying all of their bills. So that's what we're doing. Thank you very much. Thank everybody. Thank you all. Thank yourselves very much. You are now supporting a Nazi regime in Ukraine, whether if you're American or if you're European, whether you like it or not. Things may be a little difficult for you. You may have trouble getting heating, food, paying your bills. Everything's going up for you. But guess what? The government does not give a crap about you. Your government doesn't care about you. You are as expendable as the people of Ukraine, as the bodies in Ukraine that they were grinding into the machine. That's how expendable you are. So your government doesn't care about you. Get that out of your mind. You forget about that. That's not what we're here for. You are here to keep your mouth shut and to send all the money to the regime change machine. And Nina Jankowicz is part of that regime change machine. And now, guess what? Everybody's got to get blocked. Let's see. I don't have much time. It's just almost 10. So I wanted to do something short and come on here and chat. I don't even know how good things, how good my volume and everything was today. That's my theory. When Mush saw national security letters, or what are called, he realized he can't do Shiite even with all that money. Exactly. He at some point realized, look, the national security machine is going to either destroy me, take me out, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to be able to push back against this thing. When the national security machine owns the media, is part of the media, has an incestuous relationship with the media. So he knew, he saw it. As soon as he started asking any questions, what are you asking questions for? Hey, how many bots are there? Then turn on the media. What do you see? Elon Musk is chasing little girls. He is transphobic. All the stuff that they say. We got to take him out. He must be canceled. Nobody buy Teslas anymore. The media put their bullseye on him. They put the crosshairs on him, and they were going to take him out. And he realized, you know what? I'm trying. When I'm wading into national security land here with Twitter. There's an article on Facebook. Let me find this article. And this is one you need to check out too. And this is the last thing I'm going to do before taking a hike. All right, Alan McLeod, that has some of the best articles. And check this out. Meet the ex-CIA agents deciding Facebook's content policy. You go down there, and he goes on to say, it is an uncomfortable job for anyone trying to draw the line between harmful comment and protecting freedom of speech. It's a balance, Aaron says. And this is Aaron. In this official Facebook video, Aaron identifies himself as the manager of the team that writes the rules for Facebook, determining what's acceptable and what is not. Thus, he and his team effectively decide what content the platform's 2.9 billion active users see and what they don't, right? He does all of that. Aaron is CIA, or at least was until July 2019, when he left his job as a senior analytic manager at the agency to become senior product policy manager for misinformation at Meta, the company that owns Facebook. He's a CIA. There's a good old CIA guy, right? Berman's case is far from unique. Studying Meta's reports, as well as employment websites and databases, Mint Press has found that Facebook has recruited dozens of individuals from the Central Intelligence Agency, as well as many more from other agencies like the FBI, Department of Defense. These hires are primarily in highly political sensitive sectors such as trust, security, content moderation, to the point where some might feel it becomes difficult to see where the U.S. national security state ends and Facebook begins. You got to read this. It's on Mint Press. Meet the ex-CIA agents deciding Facebook's content policy. Now, all I have to do is say this about that. You think Twitter's any different? You think Twitter's somehow different? You think somehow Twitter's different? It is not. It was revealed a while back in England that this guy who was involved in the same kind of thing on Twitter in London, in England, at the same time that he's working for Twitter, he is a member of a UK military unit that's working on online security. So the guy's working for the UK military, doing this online security stuff, right? At the same time, he's working for Twitter doing this online security stuff. In other words, there was no daylight between the two jobs. That's why Elon Musk can't do anything. That's why he can't get involved. That's why he's got to sell and get the hell out. If worse comes to worse, if it goes too far, hey, look, his SpaceX will blow up next time and he'll be in it. How about that? Anything else from anybody? Let's see what we got. All thumbs up. We the people are a threat. That's the truth. The government has discovered its enemy, and it's us. All the alphabets of social media. Thought crime. Why are you freezing, Garland? Oh no, yeah. See, I'm looking sometimes on Facebook for some reason. I mean, sometimes when I'm on StreamYard, for some reason, I don't know what it is. This little thing that will come up to show that I don't have a good signal going in. So I don't know what it is. I'm freezing. I probably got a bad signal going in. But usually, at least they do keep the audio going strong. So that could be it. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. It's in the morning. I got to get out. Anybody who can do super chats, I appreciate it. Anybody who can do, if you look in the show notes for YouTube, you can see Buy me a coffee. If you don't like to do PayPal or Patreon, buy me a coffee is great. My stuff is in there. buymeacoffee.com/Garland in, and then they got an H, Garland in H. And then, or you can do PayPal, you can do patreon.com, any of those. Certainly on Rockfin. Everybody, please smash the like button and become a member on my Rockfin channel, ROKFIN, rockfin.com/Garland Nixon. That's also in the show notes, please, because, you know, this morning I was locked out of Twitter, but I was able to get back in. So at any given day, I could be thrown off any of these platforms, but I won't be thrown off Rockfin. So I certainly appreciate that. And that's about it. Thanks a lot, everybody. Share this on all your social media platforms and do whatever you can. I certainly appreciate anybody who financially helps keep the channel going. Peace. I got to run. I'm out.